Good evening, everyone. This is the Board of Selectmen regular meeting, Monday, June 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Town Hall, 108 Main Street, Falls Village, Connecticut, in person and via Zoom. I'm calling the meeting to order. On the agenda, I would just like to add two late entries. And if I may, add them and then we'll vote on them together.
Sure.
Okay. The first one is 7J, the POCD Implementation Committee. I believe that we should mention that this evening, and since all three of us attended that. So 7J. And 7K is from someone who's up for Eagle Scout, Richie Crane, and he wants sent us a letter about, I should say an email more correctly, regarding signs on Warren Turnpike. And I, as the local traffic authority, with your vote, will do whatever we need to do with that. I've already spoke with our DPW manager regarding that.
I'm sorry, did you say Warren Turnpike?
Warren Turnpike, yeah, down by the high school.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll get to that, exactly what he would like to do as his Eagle Scout project. Oh, comment.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Do I have a motion to add those two items to the agenda?
So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a public comment. Actually, I have four. If I may take a little bit of time.
Mr. Lou Timlock.
One of them concerns a conversation I had with Mr. Jennings at Jensen at the library fair the other night. And that had to do with the agenda of the town meeting. And I have an apology to make to the people and to Mr. Jensen in that meeting. That was the first time I can ever recall that I did not look at the agenda prior to the meeting so that I could work things out of my mind and have any questions answered. Mr. Jensen was discussing with me at that meeting, and it was obvious with his frustration at the town meeting about item 5, which was the question of the money relating to the ambulance. And subsequently, after I got home, I realized that it was unclear as to the disconnection of that. In the one instance in the beginning was to establish approve an appropriations bill for the fiscal year to come. But the other item was actually a supplemental appropriation that would be immediate if adopted for this fiscal year. And I didn't catch it. And so I could have explained that to him at that time, and I believe avoided some confusion, and I apologize for not having reviewed the agenda in advance. I also would ask, though, that it be conveyed to the Board of Finance that the standard language has always been, when there is an appropriation made within a fiscal year for the fiscal year, that it be so noted that it is a supplemental appropriation for that year. And in the past, the practice has been both for the motion within the Board of Finance as well as the motion that has been recommended to a town meeting. And it would also be just as true for a supplemental appropriation they would make on their own authority, that is by statute, up to $20,000 a year. And Mr. Jensen, I do apologize to you. I would also say that someone asked me, does Mr. Jensen make you work harder in the meeting? And I would say that it's not his job to make it easy for the moderator. The job of the moderator is to make it easier for everyone to participate fairly and equally. And I appreciate his diligence at doing that and working to come to the best decision he can, and also that he reliably attends these meetings. So I thank him for that as a citizen to citizen. The next thing I would like to mention is the question of the venue for the town meeting. And this is also something we had a conversation about at the library. We used to have it at the school. It seems to me it's a civic virtue to have the seat of our legislature be at the same place where we educate the next generation. And in fact, that is the beginning of their education for the next generation. In the past, when we did that, on some occasions, that was incorporated into the education. And also sometimes there would be a break in the proceedings and refreshments were sold by the 8th grade, which not only did they see and could integrate in their curriculum, democracy in action, probably one of the last vestiges of direct democracy anywhere, but also gain some revenue for their 8th grade trip. And then the last thing, more or less, the last thing is the question of moderator. When I got home the other night and thinking about it, I was thinking about the person who kind of schooled me, which was H. Lincoln Foster, who was Wood Sinclair's stepfather, and who was a legislator at one time in the 40s, at a time when the 169 legislators represented their hometowns, and there weren't district, which was a Supreme Court one man, one vote rule. Anyway, the reason I went to him and I ended up being schooled in it is not because I ever intended to be a moderator whatsoever. It was because I wanted to understand the mechanics of it so I could participate fully. And I could be effective at advocating or opposing various measures or amending them and how it worked. And ultimately he tricked me. And he asked me at one point, did I want to be on the Conservation Commission, which I did. I'd always been interested in conservation, as my father had. And when I was appointed to that, after the second meeting, he retired and I was chairman. You know, but,
It took that long.
like the deer in the headlights, deer in the headlights. So, but I found the whole business of procedure that the moderator has to know fascinating. And so I liked it. And although I'm just as happy to be on the floor where I could advocate freely if I wanted to. I was more than willing to do it, but I didn't need to do it. But if I did it, I didn't take it as a chore. I took it as a calling. Yeah, but when I was thinking of H. Lincoln Sinclair, the age at which suddenly, after moderating almost consistently all the time, he suddenly stopped moderating. And I realized I'm at the same age that he was when he stopped moderating. And Mark is also not, who moderates, is not as old as I am, but he's not far behind. And also he has grandchildren like I do, and we're busy. I really would love your board to try to recruit someone who will take an interest in it, not consider it as a chore. If you have to trick them, I would say, go ahead, just the way I was tricked, whatever it takes. But if you get the right person, they'll appreciate learning about it. It's an awful lot to learn about it that's interesting, that goes from ancient Greece through the Norman kings and so forth. Won't belabor you with it, but I mean, it needs to be done. There's only two of us regularly doing it. It's not that I'm saying I won't do it, but the tides of time are there. You know, that's the way it is. And then the last thing is, this is a gift to the town from Carol and me. Help me with it, Dave. Pull that front off.
It should come right out. Oh, my
I
goodness.
love that.
Okay. This Norman Rockwell and the higher elevations of fine art is look down there. Some people look down their nose at him as an illustrator who's overly sentimental. But he conveys the spirit of what we've got, still have, and we're rare when we have it. And it has been set up so it can be transported. So if it was ever wanted to have that displayed in front of a town meeting on an easel or whatever it could be, but this, I think, reflects what we revere about our opportunity to govern ourselves. And so I'm done.
Very nice, thank you, Will.
Yeah. And that goes in it as a pad for transportation. Maybe something else could.
Well, in the meantime, I was looking back at our DPW manager and knowing what he was gonna do tomorrow when he finds an empty spot of wall.
Anyway, thank you for giving me this time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lou, one question before you leave. you would be willing to tutor
Yeah,
anyone?
train.
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely. No, I mean, Link did it to me, so I would be willing to do it to anyone.
okay,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
you.
Public comment here too, unless you needed to discuss something in that.
No,
No.
please.
And actually, you came down to speak some of the things that I came down specifically for too. Number one is, I think that the most, Article 5 on the warrant was misplaced. It should have been in the first. The reason why, actually, it did cause confusion in the conversation, but furthermore, it materially impacted the budget. So it should have been done before the budget and then you voted for the budget, I thought. And there was that caused confusion and caused actually me to look really bad when I was advocating for something that actually what I was advocating for was an increase in the ambulance fund, just not as much as what happened. Okay, that's number one. So next time, if there is an article that is materially impacts spending, it should come before we vote for the whole budget, is my proposal to you or suggestion. And then second off, also to reiterate what Lou just said, around town meeting, the venue for town meeting, I want to also underscore that point. I think I have made this point before at a town meeting, but you know, maybe things don't get recorded very well. Here, they're getting recorded much better. So to have it at the school is a civic lesson for the kids that will then come up understanding what we're actually doing, and then will become, I think, more willing participants in town meetings. So that's why I am here to advocate for that. And would, we have a wonderful fire department. But you know, we have, how many people were at town meeting? It was like maybe not even 100, around
I want
100?
to say, was it 56 or 60?
57?
Yeah.
56,
So, I mean,
57, yeah.
715 registered voters and 57 people come out, you know, we've got it. If we don't, let's say, encourage more participation, we don't educate the young generation coming up, it'll be even less and less in the future.
I have to tell you that we've addressed this with the school principal in finding a time for the town meeting. And unfortunately, or realistically, we ran a little bit late this year in our town meeting where there's a lot of things going on at the school. I will make that as an excuse for Friday night. Usually there's not much going on. But I do like the idea, which was broached by Mr. Timelot, okay, and that was something I thought of, but it was a little too late, is when my children were in school 100 years ago, okay, we had the town meetings there and we actually did do brownies, cookies, and the kids did make money for their, at that time, trip to Quebec. So this is something we'll look at in the future when school is in, and we will certainly take that to heart, because I think it's a very, very good point that it is the beginning of a civics lesson for our youth.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
That's why I came down.
Okay.
I
But
think
thank
there
you
was
for
a
that.
question on paying the custodian too. Thank you.
There was, but in talking to
Thank
the
you.
principal, there, we could have worked something out, so. Because quite frankly, we are a good crowd, as the fire department will tell you, insofar as we leave
tidy up.
everything the way we find it. So,
Yeah.
and that's usually the concern in the school, because we're in their gym/cafeteria, so. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Any other? Oh,
Yes, one other thing that I just thought of, more and more adults are getting off of Facebook, and, you know, we send it out through the Falls Village database, which is well over 200 families, but every parent reads the digital news that comes out every Friday from
oh, from the
Kellogg.
school?
So if the
Point well
notice
taken.
of the meeting went to Kellogg and they sent it out in their Friday folder, which is digital, doesn't cost a thing,
Mhm.
parents will know about it.
Point well taken. Point well taken. We probably, and just for a point of discussion here while we're in public comment, we probably would well be served by putting out in January all of our meetings to them and see if they would publish all of our meetings, a meeting calendar. And then as other meetings come up, you know,
The Falls Village Community Calendar does all of that. But
that,
if we-
it does that, but
If
the
we noticed
school,
everyone that, and most of the parents actually use it, but if the notice was out, I remember when my kids were in school,
Mhm.
I may not have known what was going on at town hall, but I knew what was going on in that school. I read every notice that came out.
well, with the school being such an integral part of our community, it's a point well taken.
Yeah,
It's just another means of
get the
communication.
young parents out. That would be great.
Steven,
Oh, Steve, I'm sorry.
Steve Koch of Music Mountain. I just wanted to say that, I think it's really important with the trailer ordinance or the Taylor ordinance, as it were, to come back to town meeting. I think it's really important that the selectmen also stated that you guys were the ones who were the impetus behind our reasoning as the P and Z to take this on as a project. And I don't feel that that was voiced clearly enough, that we were directed by the elected board, as it were. And also even though the P and Z is not an elected board, we are appointed by an elected board. So I think that that needs to be understood as well in the community, that we're not just a ragtag group of people that come together.
You're
to
certainly not a ragtag
make
group.
stuff for the town, and I think that that's important as well. And please let me know when it's gonna come up again so that we can actually make the materials
Yeah.
necessary to truly explain.
yeah, there was
I-
a lot
I-
of misunderstanding.
Because I
there,
think
but
that that's what's most important, is
Yeah.
let them all see what we're actually doing, and I think next time we'll be a little
Well,
better off with it.
But quite frankly, I thought that our explanation, and I again thank you for being there, Steve, because I was able to turn to you and say, you know, as our resident expert from planning
But
and
I
zoning.
wasn't prepared, so I felt.
Well, no, but you articulated very well, and I kind of found myself as the pro tem moderator, but again, point well taken. Thank you. Noted. Okay. Anything else? Anybody on TV?
No,
Okay.
well, yes, but no check. Sorry.
Okay.
We do have visitors.
Approval of pending minutes. The May 12th regular meeting minutes, I'll take a motion to receive those, accept them.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
aye,
Aye. Motion carries. The May 20th special meeting minutes,
so move,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The treasurer and tax collectors report. I have the April 2025 treasurer's report. I'll take a motion to receive that report.
so move,
Second.
All in favor?
aye,
Opposed?
Nay.
I do not have in hand the tax collector's report,
I
okay,
have it.
because I ran out before she was completed and, okay. Are you, you both have seen this?
Mhm.
Okay. I will actually take a motion to receive the tax collector's report.
so move,
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Nay.
Okay, thank you. Communications. I have one that I will read at this time, and the other two will be actually incorporated into what we'll be talking about in the selectmen's report. But the one that is not is from the Housatonic Youth Service Bureau, and they thanked us, well, just to read it quickly, your continued support to the Housatonic Youth Service Bureau is greatly appreciated. HYSB has been supporting our youth and families in the Northwest Corner with mental health services and prevention programs for over 30 years. Your support and funding will help us expand our services and maintain our clinical staff. We need your support now more than ever, and you delivered. Thank you for your generous grant of $3,764 that we received on 5/12/25. With gratitude, Kelly Parker, Executive Director. Selectmen's report. 7A, steep update. Let me just read the letter to you that we received on May 29th, 2025 from Martin Heff, Under Secretary at 0 p.m. Dear First Selectman David Barger, the Office of Governor Lamont and the Office of Policy and Management congratulate the municipality of Canaan on a $620,051 grant award through the 2025 Small Town Economic Assistance Program, better known as STEEP, for the following project. Project name, Critical Municipal Infrastructure. Total project cost, $775,065. Steep award, $620,51. Municipal match, $155,14. Comments, if applicable. Trucks and equipment purchases not eligible. No funding for tree removal, facilities only. I'm just going to wrap up with this letter does not constitute a contract. Do not proceed with any anticipated STEEP funded projects. Work until you have fully executed contracts signed by both the municipality and administrating agency in place. And congratulations and best of luck with your project, Martin Heft. We are waiting for that paperwork, which we have yet to receive, which I emailed about today, but did not receive a response. Well, again, thanks to the Falls Village Grant Committee for doing the lion's share of work on that, certainly. And we'll look forward to spending that money. Second on the Selectmen's report is the Recreation Commission. And if I might, and we will act on this later, but, and I will give you all the names. We have the lifeguard recommendations for hire. Let's see, for substitute and pool supervisor recommendation, but I will go through that when we act upon it under new business. We'll read that. The other correspondence we have is from Emily Peterson, who is stepping down as the interim chair of the Recreation Committee, effective June 2025, the next meeting on the 11th. But she is still our rec director. So again, we'll put that all together a little bit later on. Peter G. Lawson Citizenship Award. The selectmen will be giving that out on Wednesday evening. Cobble Road Bridge. I don't have any updates on that. Chris and I were speaking earlier today about that, and we haven't received anything from Cardinal. Memorial Day Remembrance. Thank you for all who attended and all those who participated. Special thanks to our vocalist, if you would convey that to her, Caitlin Lopes. Always adds something to have someone actually singing. Volunteer of the Year, as you know, Gail Allen, the Community Service Award given to Richard and Donna Hines. And again, thanks to all involved. The NASCAR at Lime Rock track, June 26th and 27th. Traffic plan has been finalized by the state. No town roads in the town of Canaan will be utilized. If they are utilized, there's no stopping them, but it's not on the suggested route. Although Route 7 and Route 126 will be utilized for some traffic, we have no control over that because they are state highways. So, and this is basically the traffic plan that we received before, but it now has been finalized. I have another request that we will act upon, but the DM Hunt Library Board is asking that John Holland be reappointed, and they are very happy to have him aboard, but we will act on that under new business also. Falls Village Grant Group, their correspondence didn't make it for the last meeting, but it's now made it for this meeting. The Falls Village Grant Group has been actively identifying and pursuing funding opportunities to support community priorities. So far this year, we have supported the town and local nonprofits in applying for the following grants. STEEP grant, at this particular time, they didn't even know we had received the steep grant at the time of this writing. The T-Mobile hometown grant, that was not successful at all. But as Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, and I don't know where the Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation grant is. That was submitted for the Center on the
That comes June 30th.
June. Okay. So thank you. Solar Committee, Chris, your Solar Committee, Emily Peterson is also, and we'll talk about this later. She is leaving the Solar Committee effective May 29th. On to 7J, the POCD Implementation Committee. All three selectmen here were able to attend that meeting. I thought it was a great meeting. I thought a lot of things were outlined. Luckily, we have some time to get those things together. I'm just going to look over at Steve Koshland for a moment as a member of the POCD Implementation Committee. Excuse me, it's been a long day for me, and just ask you to make a comment or two about it.
The POCD is a voted on by the community, a 10-year plan, a direction that they feel that the citizens feel that the town should take. And with the POCD, there was some policies and then some action steps that are part of the long-term plan of the community. And since it's directed by the Planning and Zoning Commission, it's our thoughts that we should bring those policies and actions to the different boards and commissions to help them understand the community's direction. Doug Cohn has taken it on himself to spearhead that, to really educate the other boards and commissions. So we thank you for coming, since most of the actions are either us or you.
I was going to say, I couldn't help but notice that the Board of Selectmen have more things to do than anyone else.
Pretty much. But it is wonderful to be able to work on it, and I think it's a great way to bring the community together. If all boards have to meet and talk and communicate, I think it'll help grow the community.
I think it would be a good idea that, as it was brought up that night, summer's coming. But you know,
In the fall.
it's like trying to herd cats.
Yes.
But I think it would be well worth the effort, perhaps late in the summer or early in the fall, to get everyone together.
Yes, those are the plans to continue.
Once, as suggested. Maybe if we offer a barbecue or something, or pizza, we could get everyone together.
I like that even better. Who's bringing the smoker down? It's gonna be fun. 12-hour meeting.
Hey,
Isn't that a usual P and Z meeting anyway?
Yes, I guess.
they usually are, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, 7K, moving on to 7K. Let me just read the letter quickly and we will act upon it later on. But Mr. Barger, as you know, I'm in the process of making cross-country signs for our team as my Eagle Scout project. A few of the signs will be put on Warren Turnpike Road, and I was looking to see what I needed to do for permitting to place those signs along the side of the road. The signs will serve a few purposes. One is to direct the runners towards the course as they enter and exit the road, and the other is for safety of the runners, to let traffic know there could be runners alongside the road. Is this something you could help with? I've already spoke with our DPW manager. I think what we will, as we move along, I'll just reach out and see what his designs are. Right now, I could say, having two daughters who ran cross country, I wish someone had thought of this a while back. Crossing during practice, crossing by BB Hill Road. That we know a few years ago could have been tragic. Luckily, it wasn't. So again, I think anything that would help them with the course, and anything that the town could do insofar as allowing them to put those signs up, I don't see any problem.
Does Janelle need to be involved?
I know this is a local traffic authority. Okay, we look at signage. It's not commercial signage, what have you. So this is road signs and road warning signs. So again, I will not put them up until I have your approval, but I'm gonna look for your approval this evening to move along with this, and I will work hand in hand with Tim to see what we need to do and where they'll be placed, so. Okay. All right, 8, old business, 35 Railroad Street. I don't believe we have any updates. I just received a text today.
Yeah, I
The
got the same
attorney's out of
text.
the
I haven't
office.
heard anything from George Johansson. I've reached out to him several messages.
Economic Development, June 19th. Judy?
That's hopefully, she has her first inspection with Torrington Area Health on Thursday, this coming Thursday. And she has to have pretty much everything in place, food, employees, all sorts of things in order to pass that completely. And she's pretty sure she will be, but she's not positive. So that's why she's saying tentative.
Okay.
But
I-
it's coming along nice.
I can say that.
Yeah.
I can say
Yeah.
that I saw a representative of the Torrington Health District yesterday at the chicken barbecue. As she came in.
Yeah.
And she was looking forward with her companion to come up here, coworker, I should say,
Yeah, Lisa said
actually-
they've been very helpful.
which is
Very
great
good.
to hear.
Yep.
Affordable Housing Task Force, I have nothing new. CEN, I have nothing new. Cobble Road, Culvert and Bridge, as I had mentioned before, when you're talking about the culvert and bridge, I have not heard anything from Cardinal. I will check my email this evening after the meeting to see if we caught anything late midday. Okay. All right. And you know what I forgot to do? I actually forgot to put down 9, 9D and E. Can I do that now as an addition to the agenda?
I think it's any other business to probably come before the Board of Selectmen.
We'll do that then. Okay, I forgot that I had my notation here, but we have to act on 2 additional things here. The late runners in. I don't believe it. We have no tax rebates or anything for the suspension list, so no. We have it. Anything? No, just year to date. That's it. Okay. All right. Recreation Commission, the summer staff recommendations. Dear First Selectman, and if you would like to add in as the secretary of the Rec Commission at any time, please let me know. The Falls Village Recreation Commission is pleased to present the following recommendations to the Board of Selectmen for seasonal employment of the Falls Village Town Pool for the 2025 season. Would you like me to read this in its entirety and we'll vote on it in its entirety?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Lifeguard recommendations, 12 in total. Okay, they recommend the rehire of the following returning lifeguards: Noah Shippa, Ari Dehoney, Madison Graney, Bernice Boyden, Mark Hafner, Tessa Decker, Gus Decker, Catherine Bushy. We also recommend the hire of the following new lifeguards pending their successful completion of certification: Hoyt Boyden and Libby Meninges. Additionally, we recommend the hire of the following new lifeguard: Owen Reamer. Substitute lifeguard recommendation, we recommend the rehire of Wes Allen as a substitute lifeguard, a new Eagle Scout, I might point out. Something I hold close to my heart. Pool supervisor recommendation, we recommend the rehire of Nikki Blas as our returning pool supervisor. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you require any further information or clarification regarding these recommendations. Sincerely, Emily E. Peterson, Rec Director, Town of Canaan. We'll take a motion to accept those new hires and the rehires. Approve. Yes, I'm sorry.
With the can I add with the condition that the two, I think is Boyden and the other one,
Boyden and Libby Menages.
Yeah.
Libby Menages, pass their certification.
Yes, and I will put a copy of this letter in with our minutes.
Sure. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So move.
Sorry, I got stuck on approve. Remotion, 2 second?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or vice versa, I don't know. Okay, and dear Board of Selectmen and members of the Recreation Commission. This is from Emily Peterson. She's formally stepping down as the interim chair of the Rec Commission effective June 2025. With the addition of new commission members, I believe this is an appropriate time for a leadership transition. Moving forward, I intend to focus exclusively on the responsibilities outlined in my role as Recreation Director and will continue to plan, organize, and oversee recreational programs and activities that benefit the residents of Falls Village. Sincerely, Emily Peterson. I know that this is now that you have a fuller staff, committee staff, this I think is a very, very good move. She did step in as the interim chair, and I move that we accept her or her stepping down, her resignation as interim chair.
Gratitude for
With
stepping in.
gratitude, yes, and moving everything forward as our rec director. That would be my motion.
Something.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
We vote to, did we vote on Nikki Blass?
Yes.
Yes,
was
Okay,
part
she
of
was
the
included,
staff,
okay.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
included in
Yep.
that.
Alright.
I can't think of, she's really been a power over there
Mhm.
in the positive.
Mhm.
Can I ask a question about that? Just
Yes.
as treasurer, is there a pay rate schedule that has been? I don't know. Okay.
That was not included there.
Okay.
We'll
Alright.
reach out to Emily.
I guess I'll find it. I just have some time sheets
We
coming.
have our meeting on Wednesday,
Okay, gotcha.
and I will send a message now and say, hey, don't forget, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just, I have some time sheets.
Thank you. Okay. The next one is the DM Hunt Library Board request. We appoint John Holland to Board of Directors 4 years. His term would expire June 30th, 2029. I'll read the letter from Barbara Deinhardt. John Holland is, who is one of the Board of Selectmen appointees to the Library Board, is in a term that expires this summer. The Library Board recommends that the Board of Selectmen reappoint John. John, again, I can't say enough good things about John Holland
Mhm.
and the things that he's done over at the library. So
Yeah, I'll make the
a
motion.
very, very valuable asset there. I'm sorry, Chris.
I make the motion to reappoint John Holland to the Board of Directors to June 30th, 2029.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Before I get to 11 and try to get those other 2 items on the agenda. Bridge Infrastructure Committee, we haven't had.
We met, I think it was the 13th of
13th,
May. We discussed some of our options. I guess we're still waiting on
Cardinal.
Cardinal or the state to tell us exactly what we're gonna do with the big bridge. I think we also need, we discussed enlisting the help of Cardinal to help
With the road.
dig, yeah, show, give us some ideas on how to fill in the road.
All right, and solar
Solar
project.
committee, we set a meeting and at the last minute, everybody bailed for more important things to do,
Not
like
me.
make hay and.
Not me.
So, and I haven't put out the request for a refresh date on that, yeah.
Yes, good. I put update on the June 5th meeting, which didn't take place. But well, I guess that was kind of an update there. I guess maybe you ought to wait for the sun to shine one day.
Well, that
Maybe
I'm
more
probably
appropriate.
busy making hay then too.
Yeah. You can hang when the sun
Okay.
shines.
11, any other business to come properly before the Board of Selectmen? There's two things that I want to add, if we could. Make it 11 A and 11B. 11A would be our letter from Emily regarding the solar committee from Emily Peterson. And 11B would be the cross-country signs from Richie Crane.
Do you need a motion for
I
that?
do.
Make that motion to add those two items to the agenda.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 11A. Okay. Chris, I know you have a copy of this already.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Chris. I'm writing to formally resign from my position on the solar committee effective May 29th, 2025. Due to ongoing time constraints and other town commitments, I'm unable to continue participating in the committee's work. I appreciate the opportunity to have been involved and thank you for your understanding. I wish the committee continued success in its efforts. Best, Emily Peterson. I'll let you make any comments about that. I think you would
Yeah, she
accept
was a
that with
big help.
regrets.
yeah, especially when we were discussing implementation on the town farm property. And she had a lot to offer, so I appreciate that. And we'll have to find someone to take her place. We do have representation of the rec commission. So we'll be looking for someone else.
Okay,
Do we need to move to accept her letter?
yes.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And again, with regrets.
Yeah.
But we kind of see Emily's time constraints,
Yeah.
especially now that summer's coming with the
Yeah.
rec commission. And 11B, this would involve young Mr. Crane. I read the letter to you already. What I would take, let me make the motion that I, as the local traffic authority, and Tim Downs is our DPW manager, work with young Mr. Crane regarding the signs.
Second it.
So move, second.
Second.
Okay.
I thought you were moving it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So move. Okay,
Okay.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, Tim, we got our work cut out for us.
I guess one question about that. They supplying the signs?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
This is,
That's part of his
with any of
project.
these Eagle Scout projects, they supply the materials,
Okay.
they raise the money to get the materials, so on and so forth. Just as an editorial comment, this is quite an involved process from the 100 years ago when I became an Eagle Scout. They now have to have everything on computer. We didn't have computers. We were still etching things in stone on walls, so.
Okay.
Is it permanent signage or is it just when they're?
We have to make a determination whether or not it would be permanent or not. I want to see what it is. I do know that people do utilize where they want to put the signs. They do utilize it to cross from one place to another, so it might not be such a bad idea to keep them up year round. I mean, I hike through there and I run through there. Well, no, kind of like jog through there, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to keep them up year round. But again, we'll make that determination when we see what materials he's using and so forth, because right at this point in time, we don't know what they are, so.
I had one more
Yes.
item for other business. I would like the town or the Board of Selectmen, with any help from anybody from the community, to offer a way to memorialize Fay Lawson.
That would be 11C, and I can tell you that's from our conversations, okay, that is, we're trying to put something together to think of something that would be appropriate. One of the suggestions, as we've all talked and kicked it out among ourselves, I would like to pull up one of the benches that we have that need replacement and do something similar to what was done for Pat McCara.
Okay,
I think Chris, very well taken that. She should be memorialized. What I kind of struggle with a little bit, quite frankly, and this is something we'll talk with the Board of Selectmen about, and we'll take any input from anyone. I kind of would like, I know we have the Peter G. Lawson Senior Center. I would kind of like to have the bench for both he and Fay, not to minimize anything that Fay did for the town, because she's, you know, and when I said the other night, you know, takes a village, but who was the village? And she was the village. But to me, it would be kind of a nice thing to have a bench for two and have it Peter and Fay. But I'll take any input from anyone regarding that. And we kind of have a couple things that we're putting out feelers now on, so.
Right.
But no, point well taken. Do we need a motion on that, or was that just for discussion?
well, I think just discussion for now, and when
Yeah,
we come up
till
with some good
decision.
ideas, we should, yeah, we can move on.
Can I go back to the previous motion? I
Yes.
just want to make sure I have it right. The one with the signage,
Mhm.
the motion is only to approve Dave working with Tim and Richie Crane, not a proposal, not to put up the signs, just for you guys to work together.
For us to work together, and then when we come up with a plan, then
Then
we'll
you'll
come
approve it.
back,
Okay.
although I think I'm gonna say as the LTA can make that decision, but regarding the signage. But we will come back, but we don't know what he's exactly doing,
Okay.
signs and so forth. But
I just wanna make
so
sure
I
I
think
have it
we need to have a plan before we execute.
Couple of comments.
I just have one on the Fay Lawson benches.
Yeah, please.
One, she loved teak. I have all her teak furniture in my house. My God, I must have 20 pieces of teak furniture. But,
That doesn't right, bring that down.
and I really think it would be nice if we had something that just recognized Fay.
I
I love Pete, I mean,
no,
but it's the Peter Lawson Senior Center, it's the Peter Lawson Community Service Ward. Fay did so much, most of the time in the background. I think it would just be great to have,
I'm good. I'm good with that.
just my opinion.
No. I'm, like I said, I take any and all. I was just thinking park bench, two people.
No.
You know, it just.
But I will
Whatever.
add a funny
But we
story.
need, I think the important thing is the recognition of everyone in town that we need to recognize her. And I think that's the important thing. However we memorialize it, however we remember her, I think everyone is in agreement for one thing, is that we should do it.
I agree.
So,
In my teak furniture, funny story. One of the chairs, the arms needed to be redone, and as anybody knew, Pete wasn't really handy. So the arms are on backwards, and they have been for 20 years. And there's a plaque on the back of it that says Pete's chair. So,
I'm sure you sat in it.
oh, he did. I don't know if they ever told him they were on backwards.
I would say you probably never noticed.
And I left him on backwards too.
We have any other public comment?
None on Zoom.
Okay. Well, then I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Can I ask an after question?
Yes.
Is the Hunt Library?
Call the regular meeting of the Board of Finance for June 9th to order. And we have two alternates. Carol did tell me that she was potentially not going to be here due to a late closing. And Carl.
Seconded.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes. I haven't heard from Roxanne, she's the only one I did not hear from.
No.
Public comment.
Well, I don't know if I can, I just had a, kind of to introduce myself to the town meeting.
Oh, yeah, go
Sure.
ahead.
Speaking of town meeting, I was just a little confused on the disclaimer at the beginning of the meeting.
What,
Was it improperly or properly?
actually, it's properly, all we need under 7-3 of FOIA, we only need 5 days, okay? Or no less than 5 days. It has been in the past what we have done, and again, I try to get them out 10 days ahead of time, and then again at more than 5 days, no less than 5 days, okay? And that's what happened.
Okay.
So the disclaimer was that we didn't do that. We tried to do that 10 days out as we do, and that's really not required. We're just required more than 5 days according to the statute. But it has been, as many people know here, kind of, trying to get the word out ahead of time. We do that, if you remember the last meeting that we did that with, is we were required, was when we leased 107.
Okay,
So we had to do that by statute.
well, thank you.
So the Republican American Hearst Media has a different procedure and deadline.
I can only, who here, by the show of hands, is the Republican American? Who here is happy with the service? No. And we'll let that
No,
go.
it went out on the 1st, and the
Right.
meeting was the 6th,
Right. So we
So
had,
it's
we
5
had plenty
days.
of time.
yes.
How come the issue was raised then?
Because what we did, John, in the past, as you know, I like to get to town meetings twice. And I just wanted people to understand that we made every effort in the world to do it. Okay.
So
but-
we complied with the law.
We complied with the law, and that's,
Right.
and everything we do, we try to comply with the law, but the fact of the matter is, we try to do above and beyond sometimes, and to
Right.
our guilty plea here, and I will plead guilty on this, we do it, try to, just accommodate everyone.
Right.
So,
Here's the legal notice from June 1st.
Yeah.
I probably got it the 3rd. but
Right.
probably
Yeah.
delivered
So
the
again,
4th.
Again, but a very good question, Carl, and it was just crossing Ts and dotting Is.
Understood.
So, especially with a meeting that's a town meeting that is as important as what we have with our budgets.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
I have the same question. So all aspects of that statute, both the public notice were met, and we went through all those resolutions for no reason?
The resolution was just, again, it wasn't for no reason. It was just to say, listen, we tried to do the best we could, and we fulfilled, as you well know, we fulfilled the statute. But again, it was just one of those things that I felt necessary as the first selectman to do, because if people were looking for it earlier,
Because you usually do it twice.
right,
Oh,
not all the time do we
Right.
do it twice,
But
but
we're
no,
required
for,
legally to do it once,
we're
based on
required to do it
whatever.
once. We went above and beyond the requirements. There's nothing in FOIA that says you can't go above and beyond the requirements.
No.
And again, we are somewhat limited in our newspapers.
Mhm.
We can't, it's tough to use the Lakeville Journal for these, and, time-wise and everything. And the Republican American has been less than responsive to us, and like they used to be. They're just not the same paper.
Oh, you had a good turnout.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any others? All right, agenda amendments to agenda, did we?
I don't know if this is an addition to the agenda, but we went fast and we focused and we did our due diligence on Friday night, but I was left with just needing clarification on not to change our minds or anything, not to alter it even, but I just wanted to know about something. Is that an agenda item? I don't know. If I have a question about, like, projected revenues.
Do you want to add something to the old business? You just have a discussion about it, or
Yes,
you-
just a discussion.
just a recap?
It's just a question about.
So let's add it there. What it is, let's see. So we do that?
No, put it here because old business is an action item.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
A.
Any other
10A.
business? 10A,
and
okay. Thank you. Welcome.
Recap of
Discussion.
discussion.
Need a motion?
We'll make that motion, so moved.
Second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Communications. I had put steep, I'm sure you're gonna have some discussion on it too, Dave, but I put the steep notice. The state, I believe I had sent it, it should have been attached just as something that, of what you had gotten. So we were, look at that.
So does, this mean that the 125,000 that we put in still needs more for the municipal match? No.
No. No. We can certainly go- You wanna go through it when you get to your point?
Great. Thank you.
Sounds good. And I did attend the POCD meeting. With, the planning and zoning, and they went through the current POCD and what our take, but I've actually, am asking them to present here on what the Board of Finance responsibilities are, so August or September will, yes. Okay, and we will be inviting planning and zoning and their subcommittee to present. It's a good presentation, but it really needs to come from them, not from me. Okay.
Because you don't have the PowerPoint.
No, I don't have the PowerPoint. But no, it was helpful and it will be, I think we all should hear it from them. So we have a number of reports to approve, amend, or approve and receive. So we will start with the May 5th special meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve this special meeting minutes for May 5th, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
May 12th,
I move to approve the May 12th regular meeting minutes.
Who's second?
Carl.
I wasn't there for the meetings.
Discussion. We must add Roxanne.
There was a missing person.
Oh, no, it's May 22nd one. Sorry.
Yeah.
jumping the gun. We've got a couple of them. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Steve, you abstain?
Abstain.
May 21st.
Make a motion to approve the May 21st Board of Finance meeting, Board of Finance public hearing minutes as presented.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. On favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain, I was not present.
On the 22nd.
Move to approve the May 22nd special meeting minutes.
Second.
No.
Were there any comments for that one?
And then in the discussion, we need to just do an amendment.
So a move to amend the members absent to move Roxanne to, members present to move Roxanne into members present. Or
Second.
alternate members present.
I second that.
Which one? Alternate members present?
Also members. I second that.
Thank you. Discussion? All in favor of approving moving Roxanne to the alternate members on the May 22nd?
Aye.
We've got to approve the amended motion.
Right.
That's what we
Oh,
just
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Jesus.
Sorry. No, no,
I wrote it all
I'm
down.
moving
I'm
faster.
sorry.
I'm moving faster than you.
Okay,
Yes, the amended motion of, yeah, moving Roxanne. That was passed. Now in favor of, accepting the Board of Finance special meeting minutes as amended,
Approving.
approving them.
Aye.
Aye.
Passed. Thank you. Okay. Treasurer's report.
Forget, did we try to receive these as a bulk packet?
Yes. We have, the first thing we have is the Board of Finance expenditures.
Do you think we're gonna spend all of that? I don't know about the county services. We don't know that because we have to, Michelle. It's only through, it's through the end of May.
This is through the end of May.
So the accounting services, the actuarials happen at the end of the fiscal year, so
that
there
will
will
be
be more
spent.
money.
There will
I
be
don't know
more
if it all will be spent, but there will be more money.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Secretary to submit?
by the end of the year, yes. Probably after today.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
I did have I know it's just an education question about.
I put a motion, can somebody put a motion to
Oh,
receive
yeah.
them? And then we'll go.
I'll make a motion to receive the treasurer's report as presented.
I'll second that.
Actually, I can't, because there's something we don't have, right? We don't have number 3.
We don't have number 3.
So the treasurer's report as presented, less item number B3.
Discussion on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment? These motions.
Aye.
Now we'll work on receiving. Now go ahead.
Okay, thanks. It was a weird question. If it doesn't belong here, let me know. But, I confess ignorance. Are most of the cash reserve accounts, are those all in just like a money market, or are there any of them in CDs?
Most of them are CDs.
Okay, great, thanks. Thank you.
No questions. Those in favor?
Aye.
D 1 and 2.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Tax collectors, everybody did come. Yeah.
Need a motion to receive the tax collector's report dated May 31st, 2025.
Second.
Thank you, Stu. Discussion?
Looking good. As usual.
Absolutely. Anything else? All those in favor of receiving the tax collectors?
Aye.
No. Don't have a Board of Ed. You didn't get one either? So you'll have to table that.
table.
We need to move the table or just,
No action taken.
No action.
no, actually,
About Board of Education, like you have this reconciliation that you've been working on.
I am balanced to the registers that I was given. I have asked, what the difference between that she gives you is, and she said there's checks in her register that were from last fiscal year. I've asked for this.
So it seems like you've been waiting for a long time for those. I don't know what to do about those. It just seems we've been waiting really long time.
I am keep reaching out, so I will continue to do that.
I didn't know if there was anybody else, Selectmen or somebody else who needs to like support your request so it happens.
We are in full support.
Oh, yeah, great, okay, thanks.
All yours.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay. I think I don't know, Ginger, did you distribute the letter to everyone?
I did.
Okay, so there's no sense of me really reading it to you, okay? But we've been awarded the steep grant. I think it's kind of interesting, trucks and equipment purchase now eligible, no fund for tree removal facilities only. But as I said at our last meeting, as Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so.
Can we say hooray?
We had a big hooray, but you
Yes.
you
I want
weren't here
another
for the big
hooray.
hooray, another
Okay.
hooray.
Good, another hooray.
So I don't need
Many
to read this.
hoorays.
We are just waiting now for the paperwork for the executed contract. Just as an aside, late yesterday, or excuse me, late today, I received, and I haven't had a chance to go through it, our executed contract for the neglected cemetery grant. So I just received that, but just haven't had a chance. It didn't make our agenda, obviously, but while we're talking about grants, that just came up, and looking at Carl just reminded me, so. With stonework,
So
so.
we don't have the paperwork? for the
We
steep
just
yet,
received the paperwork. I have yet to review it.
For the
to see it,
cemetery.
For the cemetery
Okay.
grant, the executed contract, and now it'll follow up with the money, but I haven't had an opportunity to read it all, so, but we'll share it with you. Other things, nothing more here, but Recreation Commission, I should say, we just looked at our new lifeguards and pool supervisor. Emily Peterson is stepping aside as the interim chair position, which is a good thing. The Peter G. Lawson Citizenship Award will be given out at graduation on Wednesday evening. The other two selectmen and myself will be giving that out. I can't tell you who gets it because it's a surprise. Okay,
Well, you mentioned Emily was stepping away from interim chair,
yes,
who is coming in.
they will be looking this Wednesday to see who will
I
be the chairman or co-chairs.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Memorial Day Remembrance, just want to thank all of you who attended and those of you who participated. Volunteer of the Year was Gail Allen, Community Service Award, Richard and Donna Hines. NASCAR at Lime Rock Track, the 26th and 27th. The traffic plan is finalized. It's the one that I gave to you, that we submitted before. There are no vehicles on any local Canaan roads. If they do show up, it's not because they were directed to go there, but 126 will be used in Route 7, both state roadways, which we have no control over as a local traffic authority. But Page Road or Main Street here, what have you, we do have control over, and there's no traffic going over those roadways. Only if they get lost. And their GPS gives them a short distance, but we're not sanctioning it. DM Hunt Library Board request to reappoint John Holland to the Board of Directors for 4 years. Did that. Falls Village Grant Group update, and let me just grab their letter and I will share that with you. Falls Village Grant Group has actively been identifying and pursuing funding opportunities to support community priorities. So far this year, we have supported the town and local nonprofits in applying for the following. And again, this came to us at the end of May. Steep grant, they didn't know that we had received it, but that they had applied for it. Helped us apply. The T-Mobile Hometown Grant, which we did get word on that. Again, we did not get that. For the Falls Village Senior Center, and the other one is Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation Grant submitted by the Center on Main, and that is June 30th. They'll hear something about that. And they're also working currently with local organizations on a grant through Berkshire Taconic Foundation. So we thank them for their work. Solar Committee, Emily Peterson left the Solar Committee, but that kind of makes sense because she has a full summer now as the rec director. So, and that is all just a couple other things. You had mentioned already the POCD implementation. We had Steve Koshland give us a little bit of background, but you've already touched upon it. So, and young Richie Crane, for those of you who know him, he's up to become an Eagle Scout. He's looking to do an Eagle Scout project. He's a member of the cross country team. And he was looking at putting signs along Warren Turnpike where the runners cross. So we had a motion and passed this evening that Tim and I will be working with him on a plan, and then we'll come back and when we have some concrete things, and we'll look at what he wants to do. But right now, it doesn't appear to be any type of a problem. It doesn't appear as though any of those signs would encroach. And looking at someone who's a runner in here, I think he would appreciate a sign saying runner crossing.
So it's not for the hikers, it's for runners?
It's for the runners, but you know what, Amy, it's gonna end up being for hikers or anyone utilizing that area. You know, just to slow down.
On the turnpike.
On Warren Turnpike. And again, there has to be, as the LTA, ultimately in the end, I'm going to have to go to the State Traffic Commission and say that we've installed these signs, so on and so forth. But we don't know right now whether they'll be seasonal, whether or not they'll go year round. We just need to have a plan, but he asked if we would entertain it, and we certainly will entertain it for a Boy Scout Eagle project. That's all I have.
That's all you have?
That's all I have. I'm looking, John told me I had to finish in under 45 minutes.
How are we doing?
But no word
Getting
on the railroad speed, that,
No.
I always ask.
No, as a matter of fact, we were discussing that earlier today. Our attorney is out of town, I guess, this week. Emily's out of town, yeah.
No
so-
progress, okay, cool.
But we have been following it up.
Thanks.
We'll move on to old business. We still have our Board of Finance policies, which after the last few months, I have no desire to look at right now. I'm sorry. If somebody else wants to. No action.
No action.
The capital plan, I would hope maybe right around late summer, we can start picking that up.
As we well know, Ginger, it's gonna be like herding cats getting anyone together, but you and I need to
Well, we have
get
to
together.
we'll start laying out the framework
Right.
and getting things in the right direction, then we can fill in the blanks.
Especially helpful now that you have the steep grant information. Really,
A
we
lot of
had a hard
pieces that'll
time.
come together, it's just getting the framework.
Just getting the moving parts.
I don't have any suspense items that I'm aware of. And I don't have any new business,
We had
except the only other business that we added, which is that, and then also wanna just, we didn't add, and I should have failed to, was what do we wanna do with the July meeting? So let's start with Amy's.
Yeah, so really a basic question. I'm sure that people here, especially with Michelle around, can help me understand. I know that on Friday, we talked about another 70,000 that was going to be in the projected revenues for state and local revenues. And I was getting I couldn't, recall if it was, I remember someone saying it was coming from education cost sharing, but then someone else said it was coming from, roads, so I
Coming
just
from
didn't know.
both for next year.
Oh, it's coming from both.
It's additional money for both.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
I spent a lot of time going through it. These notes and emails was
I
on
left on Friday before, before I left, I got an email,
Yeah.
the LoCIP money came in, and then there was another email from some other money, and then the state budget numbers came in, so that's why it wasn't on
So you
there.
can get us a new one.
I can get you a new one, but there's updated money there was more money. that was
Yeah, and we had the amount, I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, and that's why I was
So I said, she
forwarding it
kept
to
sending me
Ginger.
emails and I was thinking,
Yeah.
as we're going along.
As I was checking my email, I was trying to keep you guys updated.
Thank you. Okay, that's my question. All taken care of, unless someone else had a question about that. Okay. Cool.
And so last question is, and we didn't put it on the vote properly, we're supposed to move on whether or not we're gonna do with the July meeting.
I suggest we can it,
Take a breath.
unless we've got something special, important coming up.
Is that a motion here?
We need, you want
Yes, we do.
I move that we, cancel the July meeting.
Second.
On the certified thing that we sent to the town is at if needed.
If needed.
So you don't need to cancel it, but you
You have to
by
determine if it's
consensus
needed.
decide you don't want one. You don't need one.
Don't need a motion?
Don't need a motion.
All right, well
Okay.
then,
We're
are
determined.
we all consensus? We do know.
Do we have any business
Is
discussed?
If an emergency comes up, okay.
We'll call, we'll call.
Contact you.
Yeah, all right, so if anything comes up, I'll reach out for a special meeting.
No, not necessary.
Not necessary.
Like vacation.
And so we won't meet until August 11th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just put in the minutes by consensus, it's determined the July meeting is not necessary. If something comes up, we'll call a special meeting.
Perfect, okay. Public comment. Dave.
I just wanted to extend my thanks to the board for all the hard work they did on Friday night. I know it isn't easy ever to work with the numbers, so on and so forth, and with the information you have. And if we all had crystal balls, we would kind of know what the future holds. I think that there was a lot of thought that went into the work and so on. I don't think anyone can be, any resident can be critical of the work that was put into this year's spending plan.
Thank you.
I suggest you do put into next year's spending plan a crystal ball.
I don't think we can afford it, but I'll come back at an emergency meeting in July to see if we can buy one.
Chris.
So, for some of you that weren't here earlier, Lou,
Oh, yes.
put out a request, he had two things. One was a request for anyone that might be interested to become a moderator. He's willing to mentor them at least once before the meeting. And he also presented the town with a Norman Rockwell.
Oh, wow.
And he wants this, Lou would very much like this to hang here,
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
And
Great.
Right there.
I always hate picking on
Is
him,
that
but
Lou moderating back in the day?
Yeah.
that was Lou moderating when he had more hair.
That's right.
No, but he also would like it to travel with us. Should we go to the firehouse or to the school or what have you and bring along with
They
us?
have easels, so that would be possible. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think it's a great idea. And again, if I may, he was also talking about us utilizing the school as a venue for our town meetings, and which is a great idea, but we just ran a little late this year. And number two, next year, if we get it going a little bit earlier, maybe we can help the kids raise some money for their trip by having them sell cookies and
Ah.
so
Great idea.
something to think about.
Great idea.
And maybe to have them observe at the same time.
That is the other idea.
Civic engagement.
Little education at the same time. Thank you. Anything
you.
else? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
How'd we do?
7:32.
Whoa.
I'll tell you what.
Wow.